Check this out. This is the guy that was at the Donald Trump rally, and he was holding up a sign, Republicans against Trump. That's all this guy was doing at the Trump rally yesterday. Then all of a sudden, one of the Trump supporters yelled gun, and obviously they knew the effect that that was going to have on the Secret Service, so they jumped into the fray, yada, 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 knocked the guy down to the ground, handcuffed him, and took him out of there, okay? They searched the guy, and he didn't have a gun. They questioned him, and they promptly released him. They never arrested him. They even told him, because they searched him while he was inside on the ground, didn't have a gun, and they just told him that for his own safety, they had to get him out of there, which was the right thing to do. Here's a brief snippet of an interview that, I guess the guy's name is Austin Kreitz, gave regarding the situation.
I'm a Republican and have been supporting Republican candidates for quite some time, but I just don't support Donald Trump. I literally just had one sign that said Republicans against Trump.
The protester involved in that security scare last night in Nevada. Some tense moments. Report that someone shouted gun, but thankfully the Secret Service says no gun was found. But Donald Trump Jr. raised eyebrows by immediately retweeting the false claim that his father had survived a, quote, assassination attempt.
See, and they knew damn well that there was no assassination attempt. So, like father, like son, Donald Trump loved retweeting white supremacist stories all over the place, and when pressed, claimed that he didn't really support the positions, he was just retweeting. Well, Donald Trump Jr. is a chip off the old block, because he knew damn well that there was no assassination attempt, but he and another Trump aide, they decided to retweet it anyway, even though they knew it was false. Then you have AJ Delgado. This Cuban chick is fine as hell, but I just wish that she used the brain that she supposedly has, because this lady is a lawyer. Okay, she attended Harvard and graduated from Harvard. Okay, so you would think that she has a brain and would know how to use it. Now, I'm not saying that because, she's a Trump supporter, but my problem is all she does is constantly regurgitate all of the false talking lines. Okay, and anything that is Trump is her opinion, and I know that she's got more brains than that. But anyway, I'm going to show this clip with her being quite a bit more respectful to Reverend Al Sharpton than she normally is to Chris Hayes.
That retweet is still up on his account. Joining me now is Trump campaign senior advisor AJ Delgado. First, AJ, shouldn't Donald Jr. delete that tweet rather than leave that kind of misinformation out there?
No, not at all. This has happened to me myself. We know that once we retweet something and then we undo the retweet, then you get as much grief for undoing it and deleting the tweet. So
yeah, well, you should get grief for putting it up in the first place. You're supposed to check your facts and put the proper facts up there so that you don't have to undo stuff. And he knew what he was putting up there was untrue. So, if he was going to get grief for taking it down, then he deserved the grief that he gets for taking it down.
He retweeted it already. He left it up. Listen, there's nothing wrong with retweeting it. It's not endorsing what the person said.
That is absolute bullshit. If you retweet something, you are absolutely endorsing what the person said, unless you put comments in there that you are absolutely against the tweet or original information that is up there.
It was just showing the different views on what happened of different supporters, and many did see it as an assassination attempt and tweeted that at the time.
Yeah, many people saw it because bullshit information was being circulated. But if you know the truth, you should have an obligation to put the truth up there, not idle conjecture, which the Trump campaign loves to deal in.
But there was no gun, so there wasn't an assassination. But let me get into something that is even more interesting to me than a retweet. Certainly an assassination attempt, had it happened, would have been very serious, but it just didn't happen, thank God. But what raises my eyebrow a little, Donald Trump is hitting 8 states today and tomorrow, including Minnesota, which hasn't voted Republican since Richard Nixon. I mean, does the campaign really think he has a shot in some of these blue states, or is this just desperation or misplaced optimism?
We really do, and here's why. It comes down to jobs and the economy. We're seeing a lot of working class Democrats who feel disaffected, abandoned by the trade policies of the Democratic Party, by the trade policies that Hillary Clinton supports, be it NAFTA or TPP. These are job-killing trade deals. So that message is really resonating, rightly so, with communities across the country that may trend blue but are saying, listen, the Democratic Party is moving in a way that I don't really agree with, especially under Hillary Clinton. Like Barack Obama, I don't like Hillary Clinton's corruption, the lies, which she did with the emails, and they're thinking it might be time to switch for the next 4 years.
But notwithstanding that, nearly 40 million people have already voted early. Democrats hold the edge in 7 states, including North Carolina, Ohio, and Virginia. Republicans hold the edge in Arizona and Georgia. Florida and Colorado are even. So is the Trump campaign worried about these early voting patterns, which tend to appear like it gives the Democrats a little edge?
Not at all, because in several of the key states, for instance, Florida, where they're up by 7,000 votes last I saw, they're supposed to be. Democrats tend to be in certain of these critical states. They tend to be stronger in early voting, and Republicans tend to vote more on actual election day. They're actually not doing, the Democrats, are actually not doing well compared to 2012. At this point in 2012 in early voting in Florida, the Democrats had over 100,000 more votes than the Republicans. This year, only 7,000 more.
That's not true. I love this chick. She loves sprouting misinformation. First of all, let's get back to they're going to Minnesota. They got a snowball's chance in hell of turning Minnesota red, and they know it, okay? They are throwing crap up on the wall by visiting all of these various states and hoping that by some miracle something is going to stick. They are desperate. They know they've lost, and they're throwing Hail Marys everywhere. That's number one. Number two, to be more factual, in Florida, the Republicans normally have the early voting lead. So, so she's lying. This year, the Democrats have a slight lead, but in years past, the early vote has always been led by the Republicans and of substantial margins. So she's spewing misinformation again.
The stats are actually worrisome for the Dems.
What's the mood, real quick? What's the mood in the campaign?
Optimistic, 3 more days to victory.
All right, we'll see. AJ Delgado, thank you for your time this morning.
3 more days until this bullshit election is over. Trump hopefully gets retired. Clinton will be in there. Hopefully she keeps her word on getting stuff done. And hopefully the Congress decides that they want to do some work for a change, and they at least get together and work on stuff that they agree on for the betterment of the country.